Beat making basics.
What's good, YouTube? Beat making basics back again with another dope video. If you're new to my channel, please do me a favor, go ahead and subscribe first of all, and then go on over to that like button, smash that mug, because it does help out the channel. And also, I put out good content, so if you like the content, make sure you do those two things. Without further ado, let's jump right in though. Basically, what we're going to be covering is how to make an ultimate hard trap beat. Okay, I already did a part one to this, like the ultimate way to make trap beats, and that's where I made this actual loop right here. In this part two series, what we're going to be doing is actually taking this loop and turn it into an actual song format. Okay, something that an artist could jump on. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to export the files as audio and then mix this all in one video. Let's jump right in. Now, if you're brand new, basically I'm going to go ahead and let you listen to the beat just so you know what's going on, and let's check it out. All right, bet. So that's what we got going on. And so let's jump right in. So when it comes to making trap music, first of all, a lot of times these trap songs nowadays are short. So you don't necessarily have to extend the beat as long as what you normally would have done back in the day. I remember back in the day, songs would be about 4 minutes, even up to 5 minutes. Then it started going all the way down, started being like a 3 minutes and 30 seconds, then 3 minutes. Now, most songs around 2 minutes and 50 seconds, 2 minutes, 30 seconds, so you got to just kind of format things based on the time. So anyway, what we're going to do is work on the intro, the hook, and the verse. And once you get those parts down, you pretty much can just copy and paste to finish out your arrangement. So for the intro, I like to just go ahead and keep it simple and just add nothing but like the melody. And then we're going to the hook. Pretty much the hook has everything in it. And then the verse is going to be, we're going to drop out some parts that you would hear in the hook, and then just kind of build the verse. Okay. I like to drop off the kick in the first part of the verse, bring it in the second part. So let me just show you how I'm going to do this. Basically, I mute things here, and then I mute things here. I finalize it here in the workspace window. And how I finalize in the workspace window, if you hold down Control and push M, that's going to gray out everything, and that means it's going to be muted. And one of the benefits of muting it compared to deleting it will be that I can always just unmute it by pushing Control M. So if I make a mistake or if I want to make an adjustment, I don't have to copy and paste it from another place in the song. I can just unmute it, and voila, I brought back whatever I didn't want or want now. You feel me? So let's go ahead and do this. Basically, this is the process. I'll just go ahead and highlight everything, copy it, and then I can paste it. And by the way, if you want to know how to move this playhead like this, like I'm doing, you can actually just push the greater than or less than signs on your keyboard, and it just moves this playhead over. It's a good editing tip. So we're going to push Command C to copy it, Command V to paste. That's probably going to be where our hook's going to be, and then got 2 for our verse. All right. So this is our format. Let's go ahead and jump in. Now, one thing I like to do is come over here to this top guy right here. All right. This guy, what he's going to do is open up something called colors. Now, a lot of people like to identify the different sections in their beat by coming over here in Logic and then going to arrangement. But I found that that's kind of tedious, and I also found that it's kind of confusing having to look up here, because everything right here is still going to be the same color. So you still have to do a lot of eye work, meaning your eyes are gonna have to work hard, kind of looking up here and everything like that. But if you see a whole different color, you know for sure, oh, this is the hook, oh, this is the verse. You feel me? So this is what we're gonna do. This part is going to be our verse. We'll make that orange or red. All right, bet. This right here is going to be our hook. So I'll make that like, we'll make it blue. And then we have this intro part. We'll make that yellow. Or actually, yellow's kind of, let's make that purple. Bet. So now, anytime you see this purple, it's going to either be the intro or the outro. Anytime you see this blue, it's going to be the hook. And anytime you see this red, it's going to be a verse. So now I don't have to even worry about what's what. All I have to do is remember the colors. And it makes it super, super easy to identify things. Also, like if you have an artist that you're recording here, it can also make this a little bit easier if they happen to be looking at the screen too. You can tell them the color code and let them know where everything's at and blah, 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 blah. So let's go ahead and jump into what we're going to do for the intro. Pretty much for the intro, I just leave everything muted except for like the one of the melody instruments. Voila. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this short a little bit. And basically, I'll just push Command T just to cut it short. And then I'm just going to do one of these numbers because, you know, like I said, music nowadays is actually pretty quick. It's not like it used to be where it's long and drawn out 4 or 5 minute songs. Nah, we're in and we're out nowadays, especially with trap music. So what we're going to do is shorten that just a little bit for this intro, make it shorter, and then it's going to go right into the hook. And what I'm also going to go ahead and do is bounce this in place. There's another part in in a melody part that is actually as a MIDI file, and I want to bounce that in place. And the reason why is just going to make it easy when it comes to building the beat. Okay, so we're going to have to get our colors back up. Should have did it the first point, but it's all good. So we're gonna get our colors back up. This is a purple. This is a blue. I think it was like this blue. Yeah. It's a red. All right, we're back. Just like that, we're back. Ain't no problem. So during the hook, I want the hook to build a little bit. So basically, I'm gonna mute this part out by pushing Command or Control M. So this part, this half of the hook is going to play this second melody instrument, which is going to add to the hook, making it sound a little better. And then too, you want one sound that's only specific to the hook. So I'm going to go ahead and make this sound right here a sound that's only going to play during the hook. All right, so that sound is not going to play anywhere else in the song except for the hook. So I'm just going to go ahead and mute that out. That makes it simple. And then two, one thing that also can make this simple is by going ahead, because you want the beat to build, is go ahead and mute out the kick. Mute out the kick drum, okay? And so what I can do as well is I can alternate these different melody patterns. So it's going to come in here and it's going to start with this lower melody and then go up to this higher melody and then it's going to go back into the hook. That makes sense. And then two, and this is keeping it super simple. You don't have to do a whole lot. You know, all you're seeing in this hook, I mean, in this verse, is that I muted out this kick for the first half of it in one of the melody instruments and alternated it. That's it. And then we will also, dang it, didn't mean to do that. We're also going to go ahead and let the beat drop out. All right, like one measure before the hook comes back in. I'll probably leave this 808 coming in here like that. And also put this 808 leading into the hook. So let me just let you check this out and you'll see what I did here. So that's, there you go. I mean, after we have that part in play, literally it's just copy and paste. We're talking about trap beats, you know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about doing R&B beats or hip hop, boom bap beats, you know. It's trap, you know what I mean? So, or something that has like a trap vibe to it. So we're gonna copy and paste the hook and the verse, and we're good to go. 1 minute and 33 seconds. Boom. So we're gonna do 3 verses. Then we copy and paste this hook. 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Like I said, you know, it doesn't take that much. And then we'll go ahead and kind of do a longer outro, and we'll just fade this bad boy out right around like halfway mark. Fade it out like a couple of different ways. You can use the fade tool. I know I was calling it the fader tool in one of the other videos. My bad. It's not the fader. It's the fade tool. You're right. So let's go ahead and go. This is pretty much going to be the verse of the beat. Now, obviously, too, this is another tip. You do want to add some type of variation to this. And also, just to bring up the fade tool, if you push T on your keyboard, it's going to bring up this option right here. And just scroll down. And you can push TA if you want to just skip all of the scroll down part. Hotkeys right here. Anyway, you want to add a little bit of variation in the verses. You don't want it to just be the same thing over and over again. You feel me? So one way or trick that I use to do that is actually by pulling up something called, let me just go ahead and pull up my inspector window. I pull up something called the remix effect. All right, so we got the remix effect right here. And what I do with this remix effect is on certain parts, and remember, we're gonna leave this first verse alone. So on the second verse, I might come over here to this track, say this track right here, and I'm just gonna cut out like all the highs and then slowly fade it over here to where it sounds normal. And that one trick right there could actually help do some things to make this beat sound a little bit different. I'm gonna show you what I mean right here. So, what you want to do is go over here to that track, turn on this automation option, right? Which I don't know why it's not turning on right quick. Let me see here. Anyway, we're gonna go down to latch. And what latch mode is going to do is anything that you touch while this is playing is going to be recorded in the automation area. So for instance, for this evolving currents, and I should rename this evolving currents 2 and evolving currents 1. Anything that I touch on this particular track while this latch mode is selected is going to be recorded. So make sure that you don't accidentally do something after you fixed everything. So I'm going to play half of the hook, and then I'm going to show you what I'm going to do as far as doing this EQ effect. That's what's going on. My bad, folks. My bad, y'all. Myself. What I did is I didn't actually mute out this second track right here. Basically, when I came around here, and I don't even want to explain it, but I'm gonna explain it anyway. Yeah, I'm gonna have to explain it. So it's all good. Basically, this is still the MIDI track, and then when I bounced it in place and created this other track, which is audio, I didn't mute out the other one. So it's all good. All I got to do is come over here and mute these out. And then now we're going to be able to hear what I was doing. So it's all good, y'all. Give me 2 seconds. We're going to get this back right. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. Told you it wasn't going to take that long. All right. So back to the tutorial. And I'm not gonna edit that out. I'm just gonna leave that in there. I feel like sometimes leaving things more natural makes sense because people can actually see the real process. Sometimes you make mistakes. It's all good. So we'll just name this one Currents 1. Make sure you save throughout the process too. Command S is gonna be your friend. I can't tell you how many times I accidentally didn't save something. Maybe I saved it a long time ago and I thought I resaved it. Shut down my program, went and got something to eat, came back to it, and like, dang, I erased all that new stuff I just did. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you're saving often. Anyway, let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to basically put this filter on and just bring it up. You'll see the effect I do, and this is going to change up the vibe on the second verse. All right, so that was pretty hard. As you can see, that first half of the verse on verse 2 did a filter effect. This second part, this third verse on the first part, I did like this little wow effect. It was hard, man. So anyway, what we'll do here is after we do our effects, make sure you go back to the latch mode and turn it to read. Because like I said, if latch mode is on, you push up down the volume, anything you do, it's going to be recorded and can mess you up if you don't turn it off after you put the effect on. So we'll push A, and what that's going to do is allow us to see what we just did. I actually liked everything, so I don't have to come in here and edit it. But if you say you wanted to edit it, just come over here where you see volume and you'll see everything you used down here. And I can come over here and affect it, turn it, do whatever I want there. I can come over here, move these nodes around. You feel me? Any of that. I'm not going to do that, though. I feel like it was perfect. I'm just going to go. I just wanted to show you that. So the beat is pretty much done, right? We got the fade at the end. We got this. Boom, boom, boom. Bam, bada. Everything's ready to go. Next thing I would say to do is go ahead and we're going to mix the beat now. And really, the beat's kind of mixed already, to be honest with you. But just for showing you how to do this, I'm going to go ahead and still mix it. Do some more things to add some more sauce to this. So I'm going to push Command. First of all, I'm going to save it. But I'm going to push Command, Shift, and the letter E. And that's going to let us export this. So we're going to export this. I always turn off this normalizer. Okay. And we can do a new folder here. And I can really put this on the desktop, honestly, but it's not, it doesn't matter necessarily where you put it. It just matters that you put it somewhere. You feel me? So that's really the main thing. So we're going to export it. Boom. Everything's done. And then what we'll do is come over here and create a newer version of this. Or actually, we can just do a Command Shift S to save as. And now I can do highlight and delete everything in here. I'm saying create an audio track. And then this is where we're going to actually go into our go into everything and find what we're looking for here. So I'm gonna put currency and stems, and my currency stems are gonna pull right on up. Take them, drag them back into the session. All right. So we got everything back in here. We're going to need to organize it again because everything's kind of all over the place. So what I do is I put my drums at the top and my melody at the bottom. So I'll start with my kick drum, put that right under the 808. We'll move our clap up, hat, percussion instruments. And then now we have our melodies down here. I also come over here and make sure that the name of the beat looks right. These names and stuff like that. Just so this is organized and we're not going to be like trying to squint to see what different things are. Just take that extra time, man, because it is going to help save time in the long run. Because I'm telling you, at least with me, if I just like skip this step of reorganizing and renaming, sometimes I might be looking and I'm like, man, what is that? You feel me? So it doesn't really matter. It's all good. So anyway, do that, highlight everything, shift option in, and now we're ready to go on as far as the mixing part of things. I'm gonna delete this audio track. And for the most part, what you wanna do is we're gonna level the beat first, meaning we're gonna get the proper levels, make sure everything sounds right, like loudness wise, okay? Make sure the hi-hats aren't too loud, the snare's not too loud, different things like that. Balance it out that way. Then we're going to EQ everything, okay? We're going to mainly be doing subtractive EQing, where we're taking away certain frequencies to make room for others. And then if it needs it, we might add a little reverb or maybe add a little more punch to it through, a compressor if it needs it, and do some panning, just to add that stereo image. And for the most part, after that, we're done. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Basically, I'm going to pull this guy up right here. And this is our mixer window. Sometimes it's good to group your tracks together. Actually, really all the time it is, just because, you can make certain changes to everything. This is what I mean by grouping. So like all the drums, I can put that on one bus and bus it over to an auxiliary track. And it's like, say if I want to turn up or down the drums, I can do it from the auxiliary track instead of doing each individual track here. So I'll go to the stereo out, go down to bus, and find an available bus. Bus 1 is wide open, so bus 1 is wide open, so I'm gonna go drums, and then I can do the same thing with the melody. You don't have to always do it like this, but it does help. Boom. And you can do little tricks and stuff like that, like put an effect on everything right here, and you're good to go. This is something I've been doing lately. I talked about this in the previous video, but if you're brand new to my channel, this is like a little bit of a godsend right here. This plugin is called Smack Attack, and what I do is I've started putting it on my master stereo out, or excuse me, my stereo out. And the reason why is because I found like this is one of the best clipping gates or whatever. This clip, like it's the best way to make sure that your beat still knocks without it clipping. So all I do is just put the plugin on and turn this from off to clip, and that's all I would do. This is something new. Not a lot of people are doing that. Some people are going to tell you that it's wrong and all this type of stuff, but I'm listening to it based on my ears. I'm not listening to it what the technicalities of what everybody's saying. I'm listening to how does this sound, and when I put this on here, it sounds right. You feel me? I'm not messing with the settings on it. I'm just keeping it basic and putting that clip option on. Anyway, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to take everything and drag it all the way down. And reason why sometimes it's just good to get a fresh vibe on it. So what I'm going to do here is we'll highlight this area right here on the hook. We know it's the hook because we, well, arranged it on the last part of this video, earlier part of this video. And then we're just going to go ahead and one by one start bringing the volume up. And then what I could do is I can solo this out and bring the volume up that way. Kick should be pretty much the bangingest, hittingest, hardness part of the song. You don't want it to be too crazy, but it should be up there, you know, where you can feel it. All right, cool. So once you get your actual drum pattern to where you want it, notice that the 808 is not blaring too crazy over everything else, and you can still hear that kick hitting through the mix. Everything is pretty much balanced out pretty well. Now we want to start working on the actual instrument sound. So we'll bring this up some, or the melody. Cool. So I feel like I got everything leveled out pretty well. Next thing I'm going to do is, starting with the melody, we're going to go ahead and start taking out some of the lower frequencies just to make room for that 808, the kick drum, things like that. So I'm going to start with actually this hook sound. Push this bad boy. You can use a lot of different types of EQs. Waves has some good EQs. They have this EQ called Fab Filter, which a lot of producers swear by. But I actually just go ahead and use the stock stock EQ. So I'm going to go ahead and push this guy right here, push this up, and we're going to take out probably round up to 200. And see, by doing that, taking out a lot of the lows on the melody parts, you can see how it actually created room for you to focus on more of the drums and then having the melody as an accent part. It's kind of how you want it, because thinking about like the artists, you know what I mean? They're going to be coming in, putting their vocals in there. That's really going to be the star of the show if you're doing beats for artists. So that's why I want to do it like that. I also will take out some of the lows on some of these other like instruments that come some of these other, what do you call these things? Drum instruments. So I'll just put this in here like that. Start with this tambourine. A lot of these other instruments I can come on, bring it like probably up to like 500 and be straight. Rattle, same thing. Okay, that's on the clap. I don't know. Pull that back a little bit. Probably like 200 on that clap. Hats. A lot of the hats live all the way over here on the frequency range chart. You know what I'm saying? Anywhere between 2K and up to 20K. That's really where those hats live. So I'm safe to go ahead and take out all the way up to probably like 1K. You know what I'm saying? The rattles live, you know, probably close around like 800 around here. You'll see. If I just show you like in the actually I could do that. I could just show you. That's one thing I like about Logic. So we'll go to this rattle. Where's the rattle at? Boom. So pay attention to the EQ meter. Dead on, bro. Like I told you, around 800 to around here, that's where the main part of that rattle is. So I know I can take out to around 500 to 600 and I'll be fine. Of course, you want to do this with your ears. You don't want to just like, you know, freestyle it. But I already kind of know where things are supposed to hit in the frequency range chart. So everything's pretty much done the way I like it. The kick drum I could leave alone, but I found that if you just take this a little bit out, some of these frequencies that you're really not going to be able to hear too well in the mix, anywhere between, you know, 30 and below, 20 and below, like you're not going to hear that, you know what I'm saying? So I'll take those out and it actually makes the kick punch through a little better. All right, cool. So next thing we're gonna do is pan some of these instruments. So this is where we're gonna nudge certain things over to the left or right. I can just take this evolving currents, throw that over there, maybe put this like there. You know, kind of a drastic effect on this rattle and tambourine. Maybe put this right here and we'll just listen to see how it goes. Now, one thing I'm listening here that I want to do is add some reverb right here on either this rattle or tambourine. But instead of going ahead and putting the reverb plugin on each of these, we're actually going to come over here to our sends and we're going to create a bus, an auxiliary track. And I'm going to name that reverb. Reason why is I can add just a little bit or a lot on any of these tracks that I want reverb on. So I'll come over here, put a plugin on called Valhalla Room. I actually really like this plugin. I always turn down this pre-delay a little bit, and you know, it should be good. And now I can come over here and we can add a little bit of reverb. So that's pretty much the mix right there. We're gonna listen to it in different parts of the songs to make sure everything is good, and go from there. All right, bet. So pretty much that's that. Some tips here that you could do and that you probably should do. Listen to it at different volume levels. So like turn the volume all the way down on your speakers or your monitors, not on your monitors, but on your like interface. Turn that mug down and listen to it at a very low level. What this is going to do is allow you to hear any little nuances that you probably wouldn't hear when it is turned all the way up. You can blast it, listen to it like that, add some adjustments, listen to it on some headphones, add some adjustments, listen to it in the car if you want to, add some adjustments. Just want to listen to it on different speakers. You can also go ahead and use what's called a reference track, which we're not going to be using in this video based on copyright. But basically, it's an already mixed and professionally mastered and everything like that track that you would listen to. So for instance, you can pull open like a Gucci Man track or whatever, or pull open whoever and listen to where they're putting their hi-hat, snares, whatever in the mix. And then you kind of can mimic that for your own beat. Some people will say, well, what are you going to do for, mastering the beat? Honestly, nothing. This is good enough. It's hitting where it needs to hit. And this smack is taking it. This clip on here is making sure it doesn't like go too crazy. If I did want to make it louder, all I have to do is come to this output and turn it up. So this is just different. Like I know that most people would say, hey, you want to use ozone and all that type of stuff, but this is what I'm going to be putting on my stereo outs, at least in Logic. Now in FL Studios or some other DAW, it might be different because different DAWs have different, little processors and different things like within the DAW, and it operates different. But I found Logic, it's kind of weird, like when it comes to the metering and levels and everything like that. So this is what I'm putting on my stereo out from here on out. Anyway, y'all, this is the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you have questions, comments, or concerns or whatever, leave them in my comment section. By the way, I do have other opportunities for you if you want to take your learning and your skills and improve your sound and everything like that, and take it to the next level. Go to my website, beatmakingbasics.com. Links are in the description below. I have a drum pack, crazy. Actually made this beat with the drum pack, 808s, kicks, hats, snares, everything is knocking. The kit is super simple, super cheap. I want to say cheap. I don't like the word cheap. Super affordable. Okay. I also got a melody pack in there you can get, very affordable. And then I have full courses. I got a course for beginners. Like if you're brand new to music production, maybe this video was a little more advanced, you can actually go ahead and grab that course on my website. It's called Beat Making for Beginners, and it's going to teach you the fundamentals of music production. And then I also have like more advanced course, which is going to take you from beginner level to more advanced and showing you how to make beats in Logic Pro 10.5. All right. Outside of that, I do also want to preface that I have other services that I will offer to you. Like I will remix your beats for you. So if you don't want to go through the process of having to do all this, go to my website, click on mentorship, or I should change that to services. I'm going to change that to services. Anyway, go to click on services and you can get your beats mixed. You can get beat reviews. You feel me? You can get a lot of different things done. I can do even custom tutorials for you. So if you want me to do a video like this that answers exactly what you want and you want to be able to keep it doesn't go online, then you can get that service as well. Anyway, enough about my services and products. Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate you getting it all the way to the end. Make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you stay tuned in. Make sure you go ahead and get subscribed if you're not already. And I will see you in the next tutorial. We're out.